Why are morals so important? Short answer, because morals will allow you to live the best version of yourself. Long answer, morals are one of the highest form of calculation that your brain is capable of, because their consequences are so far-reaching. So far-reaching not for the self-centered premise of the short answer, but so far-reaching as in the effect it produces in your community and beyond. A good deed commanded from the point of moral behaviour increases your social standing in a deeper and more honest way than any amount of superficial wealth or possessions ever could. If time is the true currency, then yes or no are the goods that we purchase with it. Spend your time wisely. Think deeply about what is really true. If you cut away all the advertisements and media that has subjected you to a lifetime of "more is better," the more you have, the more powerful you become, and you go back to the core of real humanity underneath all the lies of spend, 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 you will find that everything you do in life really does make a difference to other life, and that underneath the facade of wealth, good people really will respect you for doing something that takes a great deal of courage and effort with no immediate or apparent reward. To make a wise moral decision takes a good deal of bravery, a leap into the unknown, often seemingly putting yourself into a less favourable position, and almost always at the expense of personal finance. It may seem like madness, but it is not. For if it is truly the right thing to do, then the rewards will eventually eclipse all the things your immediate mind craved. It will surpass them all. This leads to the single biggest problem with humanity, the perception of the worth of morals versus greed. Firstly, the greed. In the society I have grown up in, I have learnt that those who are greedy are rewarded by the system. They are financially rewarded for taking advantage of situations to benefit themselves. This behaviour is never brought into question either, as it is assumed that that is the way it must be in life. By following the system I gain more power, more control. People admire me more now because I made it happen. I got the money, and besides the government supports me when I act like this. The more money the better. If you follow that path, and many currently do, you will have things. Money, property, items of the system's social status, such as expensive watches, cars and other such trinkets. But in order to get to that point, you will have chosen to make the world a worse place for others. You will have partaken in the attitude that it is a dog-eat-dog world. The weak will lose out because they are weak. They didn't try to get money as hard as I did. Therefore, they are not worth as much as I am. The more this attitude pervades, the more it becomes the reality for people's day-to-day lives. The problem is that it simply isn't true. Believe me, I worked extraordinarily hard, but never in the pursuit of wealth. I did it out of loyalty and a perverse offering of an alternative attitude to my competitors. It was a fuck you to the system, to show that working hard is a half-truth, they tell you, in order to get you to comply to their will. What they really should tell you is that if you want to get ahead, work hard, and make sure you absolutely align your goals with greed as the paragon. Accumulate as much as you can. Be ruthless. Do not share too much, or you will lose your status and power. Take advantage of those who are willing to work, and work them as hard as they will take it, for it will generate you more money, more power. All false promises from the dopamine carrot dangled in front of you. It is a form of enslavement where the slaves do not even realize they are in chains. In fact, they are encouraged so much to comply that they willingly lock the chains into place upon themselves. Now that is madness. Let me make it abundantly clear, the people at the top of the numbers game don't give two fucks about those beneath them, let alone those way beneath them. You think yourself successful running a competitive business. All you are really doing is clawing at each other for the mere crumbs from the table above. You are not fit to lick their boots, so don't waste your time doing it. Now I should point out that I am not anti-business. A lot of very useful services and progression stem from businesses, things that benefit the human race. However, I am concerned with whether their value system is to provide the best service or product to humanity, or to amass the most profit, further promoting the values of greed among the population. For when you are old, the material world won't mean a damn thing to you anymore. Just as when you were a child, you will realize the importance of love, decency and respect over the eternal pursuit of temporary dopamine purchases fed to you from a corrupt and hidden tyranny. Money. Have enough to get by. Have enough to support your family now and in the future. But beware the trap of society's greed. If you let it, it will rob you of your entire lifetime. Be free of it, and by all means work hard, but work hard towards what is really true, what is really good, what is moral. Secondly, the morals. Being moral is hard, far harder than climbing the ladder of financial success. Choose to be hard, choose to be brave. Moral behaviour is not aligned with financial gain in our society. It should be, because this would incentivize behaviour from an existing pervasive system which is deeply ingrained in the populace consciousness, but in reality it is almost always at odds with it. In order to be moral, you will have to turn your back on all the temporary dopamine that wealth affords you. You will likely be poor, you will likely struggle, but in your soul, in the truth of truths, you know you will be right. You will bring happiness to others because of your actions. You will influence them in the right way. You will inspire and you will make a better future, not only for yourself, but for everyone else around you too. When you are old, you will be loved, not for the material things you own, but because people will recognize that you devoted your life to good deeds. It will further inspire true good into the world. The moral path is the wise choice, but it is also crucially important to remember that nobody is perfectly moral, and that everybody has the ability to improve themselves further. I believe morals are consistent with universal truths throughout space and time. If we are to get past the boundaries of our planet, we are going to have to recognize truths, universal truths, far more deeply than we currently do. We cannot hide inside the falsehoods of a financial system which is based upon deceiving one another into a hierarchy of hidden control. We need to realize that being kind and wise is far more in alignment with a positive future than the avarice-fueled war machine that currently drives the perspective of the media and its compliant masses. We need to advance not just in our technologies, but in our ethics and understanding of ourselves, of this universe we live in, and of our deepest, most intimate connection with it. Basically, with the truth. When it comes to that intimate connection, when it comes to your soul, you make your own choices. You choose your own beliefs. Never be influenced by anything but the truth. Organized religion is a falsehood. Religion is in your soul, open to each and every person directly. So choose wisely, my friend, and if your belief encounters new evidence, change it to be better and stronger. Do not fall into the trap of lying to yourself in order to fit in with an established falsehood. For in reality, morals and ethics control everything, absolutely everything. From the spiritual to the technological, and as technology advances along with the lethality of our weaponry, we need to be sure to advance our morals more so. Imagine if everybody had a gun. Would you trust peace? Could you trust peace? Is it possible to ever obtain that goal one way or the other? Could we trust each other eventually? Now imagine everybody has a nuclear button. How quickly would the world die? We need to stop advancing technological warfare. We need to remove the financial incentive. We need to get the would-be developers to be honest with themselves and what they are investing their time into. We need to start advancing our moral code to a point where eventually we would trust each other with hypothetical red buttons. Because just like every wise decision is based on trust, so is a future where we don't annihilate each other completely. You can do this now. if you are reading or listening to this, you can change, and it will have a positive effect on our collective human story. If you choose to choose the moral path over the greedy path, let me offer you some advice. It doesn't matter if you aren't perfect, but try and do the right thing. We all have our demons. If you slip up, try again. Don't fall into the trap that one mistake has defeated you and you are not worthy. That's a bullshit tactic used by the media to cripple an opponent's mind. Fuck that. Get up and try again and again and again. That's what ultimately makes the world a better place. You need to change yourself before you can change the future. Utopia is not a myth, it is a possibility. But it requires people to be honest with themselves and others. Like anything, it is not magically granted, it is built slowly and steadily. Become less greedy over time. If you see someone hurt, help them. If someone won't help themselves, let them suffer until they choose to help themselves. Become more moral over time. Become stronger, become wiser, become truer to yourself and others. Because our future is completely dependent on our choices. Choose to choose wisely, be kind, and things will gradually improve in your life, others' lives, and ultimately life itself. That is why morals are so important.